Monsieur le Président de l'Assemblée nationale de Cape Verde, Monsieur le maire de Praia, Monsieur le représentant de la Fondation Amilcar Cabral, Monsieur le représentant de l'Alliance pour refonder la gouvernance en Afrique, Monsieur l'ambassadeur de France, Mesdames et Messieurs les ambassadeurs, Mesdames et Messieurs députés de l'Assemblée nationale, chères participantes et chers participants de la conférence Africa Reinventa su Governação, chers collègues, la liste est longue, je vais continuer en anglais maintenant. On behalf of the African Innovation Foundation, I would like to thank the national authorities for hosting this important conference in Cape Verde and for the generous support. Knowing that the government of Cape Verde is a model of public governance in Africa, we appreciate the fact that this conference could take place in Praia, also thanks to the personal support of the President of the National Assembly and the Mayor of Praia. My colleagues at AIF, African Innovation Foundation, and myself are highly impressed with the process and the outcomes of this conference. I was personally fascinated by the quality of the debates, the sharpness of the analysis of both the governance challenges and opportunities that the continent faces, and the decisive willingness of all the participants to give the governance agenda in Africa a new direction. The diversity of the participants that attended this conference is most convincing, both in terms of regional diversity, sectorial diversity, and the diversity of different personal backgrounds and professions. Despite all this diversity and the controversies that are the natural results of diversity, the mutual respect of the participants was absolutely tangible during these days. Ladies and gentlemen, the African Innovation Foundation is proud to be a partner of the Alliance pour le refondement de la gouvernance en Afrique, and to be a contributor to this conference. I was actually asked many times, what is AIF, what is the African Innovation Foundation, why do you contribute here? The answer is simple. We are a foundation founded by an African entrepreneur and private equity investor who grew up in Switzerland, and our chairman is the former Director General of the Swiss Development Corporation, Ambassador Walter Fust. We are committed to foster innovative approaches in the continent and mobilize innovators as well as ecosystems for innovators. For example, we have a partnership with the UN Economic Commission for Africa to give awards to African innovators of about $150,000 every year for breakthrough solutions and technologies that can change the reality of Africans through market-based approaches. We are going into the second year with the Innovation Prize for Africa, which was launched last week. So please, if you know innovators with new solutions, new products and promising business models in your country or your thematic domain, please encourage them to apply. I have participated in the second atelier, the second workshop, where the topic, as you know, was the recognition and the valorisation of the customary law, the traditional rules and regulations, as well as those institutions linked to the exercise of the traditional law. One of the structural actions that was defined in this workshop was to enable access to the pluralism juridique of the African people. Another one was the necessary investment into comparative analysis in order to elaborate the common grounds of the African customary law, based on the thought that in many countries you have similar customary law. In this context, I would like to mention a new program that the African Innovation Foundation will launch next year. It is the e-library on African law and governance. The purpose is to provide Africans with free access to law, to court decisions and to secondary literature and research about the existing written and non-written laws and law texts in all African countries. We hope to contribute to an interdisciplinary movement of African researchers in first place, and law practitioners, NGOs, businesses, the public sector, and the general public as a whole. And we hope that this free access e-library will contribute to the establishment of this common ground of the traditional African law. Obviously, we hope to be able to rely very much on local networks who can participate by posting the stock of documents that they have built to establish this e-library as a platform for comparative analysis and learning. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to express my special gratitude to the Alliance pour le refondement de la gouvernance en Afrique, and specifically to Mr. Hassan Baye in his role as a bright and patient facilitator of this process. And most of all, I would like to thank all the participants of this conference. You must and will be successful in reinventing the African governance and take the destiny in your hands. And probably you will have to assume also a leadership role in terms of influencing governance standards, international government standards in the next 50 years. So we are proud and honored to be a partner to ARGA and a modest contributor to this crucial endeavor. Thank you very much.